Good afternoon, City of Geraldton. It's Ashley from the DAP Secretariat. If you could just turn your camera on and just let me know who you have in the room with you this afternoon.
Yeah, sorry, just one moment on camera. Can you hear us, Ashley?
We can hear you, but we just can't see you. Just bear with me one moment.
Our camera's off. So I'm not facing us. Oh. Yeah, better. Yeah. Oh, we've got the backs. Get rid of that background. The ghost of Geraldton.
Sorry, we're just having a few issues with your background. We've just got IT coming in, but we can hear you okay. Oh, there we go. I can see you now. Okay. We just confirm who's in the room with you.
I'll start. I'm Ryan Hall. I'm the Director of Development Services for the City of Greater Geraldton.
I'm Keith Martin, Manager of City Growth.
Nicole Brown, Coordinator Statutory Planning. Moana Wilson, Personal Assistant to Director of Development Services, but I am leaving.
And Geraldton Dan, Principal Engineer, City of Greater Geraldton.
And I'm Trevor Pitt, the Coordinator of Design for the City.
I'm Jerry Clune, the Mayor of the City of Greater Geraldton.
Okay, we just note, Jason, you're online as well. Welcome.
Thank you, and apologies, I couldn't be there in person.
Good afternoon. Okay, we're just going through attendance at the moment. So this is our first of the new round. My name is Francesca Lafanti, presiding member, and over to my left.
Leah Donoghue, deputy presiding member.
Yeah, Michael Abruzzi, City of Geraldton Councillor. Alan Stewart from Lateral Planning. Mike Fitzgerald for the applicants.
So I would like to officially open today's meeting. It is 1:07 p.m. and I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and pay respects to elders past and present on the land in which today's meeting is being held. As the presiding member, we will be running this meeting in accordance with the DAP Standing Orders 2024 under the Planning and Development Regulations 2011. We are, as probably everybody is now aware, we are also live recording and live streaming these DAP meetings, which will be on the website in accordance with Regulation 42A of the Planning and Development Assessment Regulations. We have no apologies for today's meeting and no members on leave of absence. The minutes for this DAP meeting and other DAP meetings are available on the website. We have, as people are probably aware, we have a change to this agenda. There is no part B of this agenda. We are moving to part C of this agenda. And so we will be going to the declaration of due consideration in relation to the members. As we said, we've got 2 members online and 3 here. Could I have glasses on? Could I have a show of hands if you've duly considered all matters before you on today's agenda? And the members online?
Yeah.
Show of hands. Thank you. That is unanimous for the minute taker. Members, are there any disclosures of interest for today's meeting? There are nil disclosures of interest. We have one Form 1, but we have we have one Form 1, a deputation and presentations will occur before we deal on the item, and we have one presentation which has been distributed and is online from Mr. Alan Stewart, Lateral Planning, who will provide his presentation to us now. Thank you.
Thank you, presiding member, and with me today is Michael Fitzgerald from the project manager for the landowner. But Mike and myself have been working on this site for well over 15 years now. When the RDAP was adopted back in 2010, Geraldton was experiencing a bit of a property boom. But as with most regional areas, it was affected by changes in economic conditions. And it's only in the last year or so where things are much more positive, and our client's been able to secure a couple of anchor tenants to underpin this development. So in terms of the RDP, at page 6 of my time planning statement, which is in attachment 2 of the agenda, that includes a diagram of the approved outline development plan. As you'll see, this development is consistent with the original intent of the RDP as it was envisaged some 15 years ago. The RAR does highlight some minor variations to the RDP, but overall, the proposed development does not depart significantly from that RDP in terms of land use, design, built form, landscaping and access. Probably the main departure, if you like, and it's flagged in the RAR, is the position of the vehicle access point to the development, the western access point. The RDP contemplated a temporary road connection from Horwood Road just east of Weberton Road, pending construction of the Geraldton North-South Highway. The position of that temporary access is a little bit problematic due to its short length and the steep gradient to get up to the car park. So this DA instead proposes that the main entry point to the development be via a driveway situated within the reserve of Weberton Road on the western side of the property. The driveway is considerably longer than the temporary access point on the RDP and provides much greater capacity for vehicles entering the site to queue without affecting the flow of traffic on eastbound lanes of Horwood Road. The entry is about 100 metres north of Horwood Road and can be retained as an access point from the new Geraldton North-South Highway if that road is ever built. It's presently not funded or committed to by government. We note the RAR recommends a condition requiring a revised or updated traffic impact statement that will consider how access will be obtained should the Geraldton North-South Highway be constructed. We do not oppose that condition, but we do emphasise that the situation is no different to any other site where vehicle access might be affected for a short duration when there's roadworks in the area. And we're very confident we can deal with that should the need ever arise. But we don't oppose any of the other conditions either in the RAR. I do want to comment on condition 3. That requires details of all of the civil works to be submitted prior to a building permit, including all the works outside the site, such as roadworks in the verge and surrounding roads. Condition B of that condition refers to the provision of a deceleration lane on Horwood Road for our proposed western access point. And attachment 7 of your agenda includes a technical note from our traffic engineer, which concludes that the provision of that deceleration lane is not necessary, mainly because of the length of our proposed driveway and the fact that there's so much queuing capacity. He did not see any impact on Horwood Road. The city has taken a different view and in the REI, and they have recommended item B in condition 3. But for the time being, we're happy to accept the condition, I guess. The wording, I think, is sufficiently flexible that it allows us to hold further discussions with the city staff and to work out the detailed design of all the civil works. I think we're confident we'll find a solution we're all happy with. If we need to seek a modification to the condition, we can always lodge an amended DA. But I think we'll be able to resolve it. There's a lot of civil works to be done here, and no doubt Mike will sit down with the city's technical people over the next few months, should you grant an approval, and we'll work through the details. Apart from that, look, we're very happy the city's recommended approval. We've worked with them over the last few months, addressed all of the items in their request for further information, and we hope you can support the application today. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Panel members, you have heard the presentation. Are there questions from any panel members before we go to the officers? No questions at this juncture. Panel members, you can come back to the applicant should you wish, following any other discussion. Before we go to the item, officers at the City of Greater Geraldton, would you like to provide any commentary in relation to either this presentation or the agenda before the panel?
Thank you. Yes, just briefly to say, in response to the presentation from Alan, agree and support the comments around working together, and confident that's been a very positive, constructive process, and confident that we'll be able to work through, satisfy those conditions. So look, the report's very comprehensive. It's been a good working relationship. We're pleased to recommend the development be approved with the conditions outlined in the report to you today.
Thank you. Panel members, are there any questions to the officers in relation to this item? If there are no questions, we are moving to the agenda itself. The agenda has a recommendation at the beginning of it. There has been no discussion on change of condition or other modifications in relation to the agenda item in the RA. So the initial matter will be, is there a mover for the RA recommendation that appears at the beginning of this agenda?
I'll move it.
It is moved, Deputy Member Lee O'Donoghue. Is there a seconder for the item? I can't see one of the members. Sorry.
Jason.
It's just dropped off. Sorry, we're just holding because one of our members has in fact. Okay, Jason, we can see you now. Did you hear the beginning bit that I had, Jason?
Apologies. No, sorry, apologies. I didn't. I dropped out.
Okay, we have completed the applicant presentation, which I understand you have heard. There were no additional comments from the officers at the City of Greater Geraldton. We are dealing on the agenda, the RA agenda item recommendation that appears at the beginning of the agenda. There are no changes to that recommendation at this juncture, and it's been moved onto the table by Member Lee O'Donoghue, and we are now calling for a seconder for the item recommendation. Is there a seconder from panel members?
Second.
It is seconded, and Councillor Michael Librizzi. Thank you. It is seconded. Would the mover like to speak to the item?
Look, I'll be very brief. It seems to me that this has got quite a long history, this site, and that a lot of work has gone into coming up with a development that would appear to meet all the current planning framework. I think those issues around condition 3, which the applicant has indicated that he is happy to accept at this point in time and subject to possible further discussion with council. I think that that's probably the only issue, and that appears to have been put to one side for this time. So generally I'm very supportive of this application. I think it's appropriate land use in an appropriate location. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the seconder like to speak to this item?
Look, I think it's an exciting development for Geraldton, and the relationship is strong between the developer and the city. So congratulations on forming that relationship. It'll be good to see that site done, and with the acceptance of the RA and the conditions, I'm sure we can work out a relationship with officers involved. So Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other discussion or comments from panel members? If there are no further comments from panel members,
Well, I'd like to speak.
yes.
Or maybe I'll just, given our technical challenges, I'll keep it quick and simple. I just wanted to speak to the item and having regard of the responsible authority report and the recommendations put to us. I am noting, as was mentioned previously, the history with the proposal and the application, and it's both the use and the development that's proposed is consistent with the planning framework. And on that basis, I'm comfortable to support it, see it as a relatively straightforward matter, so we'll be voting accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers from panel members on this item? I'll make a few comments. They are similar to others that have made. The proposal as before us, I'm supportive of the proposal. It meets the planning framework. The discretionary elements are considered appropriate in the context of its location, and the proposal is consistent with also other documentation that sits around it and has been referred to in the report, which includes the survey strata and subdivision. And I'm satisfied that the matters in relation to the access, those as they appear in the conditions are appropriate, and that any further conversation that varies those elements will occur both at officer level and where necessary through the relevant decision maker should a change occur. The proposal is, as I've already indicated, appropriate in its location and context and within the planning framework, and I'm supportive of it. If there are no other questions or comments from planning, from panel members, we are going to the vote. Everybody is visual. All those in favour? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Missed somebody. Can we close debate? Would the mover like to?
Look, I have no further comment. Thank you.
Apologies. Debate has been closed. We are now going to the vote. All those in favour? Jason, sorry, all those in favour? It is unanimous. The motion has been carried unanimously. We are going back to the agenda. There are no Form 2 applications. There are no Section 31 applications in relation to City of Greater Geraldton. There is no other business. State Administrative Tribunal are listed here in the agenda, although there are no comments on there. There is no general business, and accordingly I close today's meeting at 1:21 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.